Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel and I hope all of you are doing great. So in today's video, we'll be looking at how to create a watch list. So this is not like a tutorial or something ki how you can create a watch list in TradingView or anything like that. But what I'm talking about here is that how to actually create a watch list of the stocks that are tradable for that current week or day or that month. So it's more about this filtering down the stocks and just getting to those 4 5 names that are tradable, right? So again, this is a very important topic because many people struggle uh, to actually get down to those 4 5 stocks that are actually tradable according to their own rules, because there's too much information overload. There are actually too many stocks that are available to trade and many other things, right? So that is what I'm going to discuss in this video, ki how you can create a watch list of those stocks that are tradable for that current week, how to actually narrow down from a list of 5 7,000 stocks to just 10 15 names and further down to 4 5 names. So let's get it started. Standard disclaimer, I'm not a SEBI registered analyst and any stock discussed in this video is not a buy or sell recommendation. Please consult your financial advisor before taking any trade or making any investment. So problem while selecting the stocks, right? So the biggest problem that people face while selecting the stocks for trading and making a final watch list is how to narrow down the stock universe. Because if you see the entire stock universe that consists of NSE, BSE, and there are multiple IPOs coming, then we have the SME stocks and all of these. For this basic purpose, I'm going to avoid the SMEs and IPOs. I'm just going to talk about the entire universe, that is the NSE and the BSE, National Stock Exchange, and the Bombay Stock Exchange. So there are more than 7,000 listed stocks in Indian market, with new stocks listing every single day. So it gets difficult to narrow it down all to just 4 5 names, right? So that is the biggest challenge that we face, because again, if you are not fishing in the right pond, how will you catch the fishes, right? Because again, if you are just selecting stocks at random, right, and then you are struggling to make money, to struggling to trade, because actually there are too many names available, right? So again, we have to narrow those down, right? So the first thing that you can do is deciding the time frame, right? So this is the first step, and this is one of the most important step, is that you have to define the time frame. Are you going for the short term trade or are you going for the long term trade? Because again, what kind of stock you're looking for is actually very different for the short term and the longer term. The characteristics it is showing is very, it could be very different for the short term and it could be very different for the long term. Because again, in the short term, what you need is a stock that is in a momentum like this, and for the long term, what you are trying to do is that you are trying to catch the stock at a point where the momentum is just starting, right? So that is the main difference between the short term and the long term, first. And second thing is that in short term, you need a quick move. You need the stock to move very fast so that you can book profit and you can move to the next one. In the long term, what you have is time on your side. You don't have a certain fixed time frame, or maybe you have a certain fixed time frame, but it's not very small one. Like, it's not like you're looking to book the stock in the next 1 week or 1 month, right? So you are willing to hold that particular trade for an entire year or maybe for more than a year, right? So that is the main difference. So for looking the stocks for the short term, what kind of characteristics you are actually looking for, what kind of trade setups you are actually looking for, is the kind of momentum burst. So momentum burst basically is that where a stock is in just tight consolidation and suddenly it catches momentum and starts moving faster. We You are looking at a pullback, the stock which is already trending, and then it pulls back and then continues its journey. You're looking for something like flags, because again, those are kind of momentum burst. You are looking for pivot point breakouts, because again, in consolidation, you are just looking for the stocks which are in short consolidation and are just about to break out. In the long term, what you're looking for is you're looking for the stocks that can give you huge returns. You're just not here to capture a 10 20 30% kind of a move. Actually, you are looking for to make 100 200 300% kind of a move. So for that, you need a stock that has given a big base breakout or actually has formed a very big base reversals, which a stock was in a downtrend for a very long time and then it started consolidating and now it's coming back up. Because again, that is all about the cycles. Every sector has cycles, every stock has cycles, every industry has cycles. And then you're looking for the stocks that are beginning of the stage 2, which were in consolidation and are just popping out, right? So those kind of names. So filtering the names, right? So there are 4 5 steps that you have to follow. First, we have the entire stock universe, that is the NSE plus BSE, all the listed stocks. Then what we can do is that we can apply the first filter, that is the primary filter. So what is a primary filter? So primary filter is just adding the conditions, the basic conditions, like the market cap, how much volume should a stock have, right? And what should be the minimum price of the stock. Those are kind of primary filters, because again, there are many illiquid stocks, there are many stocks which are just moving in circuits, right, where it's extremely difficult to trade those names, and plus it's also dangerous as well, right? And then you are looking for the stocks in a certain market cap, because small cap stocks move different from the mid cap stocks versus from the large cap stocks. So large cap stocks are generally slow movers, right? And if you're looking to make fast returns, huge returns, then you need to look for them in the small cap and the mid cap universe, right? After that, the next filter is going setup specific. So again, so once you have done your primary filter, once you have eliminated the stocks, because primary filtration is all about eliminating the useless stocks which does not qualify your minimum criteria, and then you have to go to the setup specific. So what I mean by setup specific is that everybody have a certain way of trading stocks, and everybody is looking for a certain characteristics in a stock, and it could be a certain specific setup. Like, some people like to trade VCPs, some like to trade big base only, some like to trade gaps, some like to trade reversals, and some like to trade uh, inside bars and pivot point breakouts and those kind of things, and some like to trade multiple kind of formats. So there you have to go the setup specific, because if there is no setup, then there is no point keeping that stock in your watch list, because it's extremely difficult to trade the random movements, right? So it looks good if a stock is moving up and up and up and continuously, but if there is no proper entry, how will you define the risk, right? So that is why going setup specific is very important. And then the last, you'll be left only with the actionable names that you can trade over the next few weeks or next few days, because once you have created a watch list, it can last up to week, a single week, or maybe multiple weeks, because you have selected those kind of stocks which are about to move or are moving, or they still satisfy your criteria, and there's nothing, there's no kind of rules that they have broken, so that you push them out of the watch list, right? So primary filter, as I said, market capitalization, liquidity, minimum price, and the stocks above the 200-day moving average, because as a trader, you shouldn't be looking at the stocks which are below the 200-day moving average, because that simply defines that they have been in a long-term downtrend. Going the setup specific, so this is really important point, and I would like to emphasize a lot here. While selecting the setup, you should be able to actually visualize what you are actually looking for. When you look at the chart, you should be able to see it within seconds what you are actually looking for, if the stock is showing those particular characteristics. If there's a VCP kind of formation, you shouldn't be, shouldn't be spending more than 2 4 seconds on that particular chart, because once you have enough knowledge about, if you are aware about what you are actually looking for, it won't take too much time. So as I said, you should be able to visualize what you are actually looking for, like in a single glance. You should be able to tell if it is a chart that is worth keeping in your watch list or not. So it could be a VCP, it could be a flag, it could be a big base, it could be inside bar, or it could be any other setup. You should be able to identify within seconds, right? So you just take a single look at that chart, and you see if there's that particular formation you're looking for or not, right? So let's jump into the filtering process, right? Because again, that is the most important part, right? So for that, we can use multiple things, right? First, we have uh, chart maze. You can use the chart maze platform. You have charting platform, and then you have your own TradingView screener, right? So I'm going to show you all the methods how you can create a primary filter. Then you can just go through the names and I'll show you how I arrive at the final few names, right? So coming to the charting first. So primary filter. So my primary filter is simple, right? First, I'm looking for the stocks which have a market capitalization of more than 100 crores. Second, I'm looking to for the stocks which have given a daily close of more than 30 rupees. So I'm not looking for any penny stocks which are below the 30 rupees. Third thing, I'm looking at the stock should have a minimum liquidity of 50,000, right? So there should be at least 50,000 shares traded per day. And the last thing I'm looking is that the daily close should be greater than equal to the 200-day moving average. So in charting, you only get the NSE stocks, not the BSC ones, right? So that has left me with only 1000 stocks out of a universe of, I think so there are more than 2000 stocks in the NSE, right? So I have, let's say, 1000 stocks. So again, it is a lot to go through, right? So again, this is just a primary filter I'm saying, right? So here you can apply multiple other criterias that you would like. Let's say you want to look for the stocks which are above the 50-day moving average, right? So that will narrow down the list a lot by a lot, right? So only 742 stocks left, right? So these are the kind of primary filters that you can add, right? So once you have done that, what you can do is you can go through the names one by one. And especially charting has introduced this new feature where you can get the chart just by hovering over the name of that particular stock. So it saves a lot of time, right? So you don't have to open a separate chart to look at the that particular stock. You can just simply hover the mouse, you can simply go through the chart there, you can simply look at if it is something that you're looking for or not. So let's say I'm just going through these names. What I like to do is I like to go through in reverse order, because again the first ones that I'll see will be the ones that have given the move. Okay, so let's start with the bottom one, right? So we have payments and all of these. It is struggling a bit to load this right now, I think so, for some reason, right? Yeah, but yeah, so we have Minda Corp again. So one thing what I'll see, I'll reject the stock, this particular stock, in just a second, because again, first of all, it's in a downtrend. I want a stock that is in a consolidation or in a proper uptrend. If I look at another stock, let's say Payments Bank, again a big red candle, that is not a good one. So if I had identified this particular stock at this particular level around 420, then I would have kept it. But currently a big red candle, that means a big no, right? Select Energy, if I see, so first thing, it's in a downtrend, so that is obvious. So it has given a strong reversal, but I would like to see some consolidation here. So again, obviously a rejection here. Navkar Corp. So this is a bit interesting because I can see some kind of VCP characteristic here, and I can also see this area where it tried to cross but failed. So this is a stock that I would like to consider. So what you can do is that you can simply export them to Excel, and you can just simply go through the names and paste them in the TradingView. Second thing, what you can do is you can create this again in a TradingView itself, right? So what you have to do is just go to this section, you see this screener here, and here you can find the multiple criteria that you can add. So these are the few criteria that I have added for myself, but I'm going to show you again. So I'm going to revert to the default. So this is the default, right? So we have 6665 names, right? So again, many names will be repeating because one in NSE, one in BSC. So what I can simply do is I can just click add, I can search exchange here, and I can simply go to the NSE exchange. So I'm looking for the stocks that are listed on NSE. Still 2000 names, a lot. So what I'm now looking for is that I want the stocks which are above, let's say, 30 rupees only, right? So I'm not looking for penny stocks. So what I did, I simply went to this price section, and there I just went to manual setup and above or equal 30, right? So still there are 2149 stocks which are above 30 rupees in price. Next thing what I can do is I can simply add the volume filter as well. So let's say I'm looking for the volume. I've added the filter and go to the manual setup, and I'm looking for the daily volume of, let's say, more than 1 lakh, right? So I'm left with only 1125 names. right? So these are the primary filters that you can add. So again, you can add the sector as well, which sector you're looking for. You can add the market cap as well. Let's say I want to just look at the mid caps, so 2 billion to 10 billion, right? So I'm left with only 144 stocks. So I can simply go through the names. I can simply shrink it down a bit here, right? Let me open the this, and you can simply shrink it down here, and you can simply go through the names one by one, right? So that is a simple thing. Currently I'm having a bit issue with the internet, that's why it's taking some time to load, right? But you can simply go. So again, a clear rejection because it's in a downtrend. This one, if you see, again, a clear rejection because there's no proper settlement and everything, right? So that way you can simply go to the names like Selker Gadgets. So this was good few days ago, but currently it's an uptrend, so currently I'll skip it. uh, HP adhesives, again a skip for now. GFL, if you see, so this is kind of a bit looking interesting because there is a clear base. So again, as I said, that is why it's very important to visualize actually what you're looking for, right? Because again, you should be able to glance it in a second. So again, this is a proper kind of a base that is forming, that is above the 200-day moving average, and if the breakout comes from here, it could give a good move, right? Ratanveer, so not a good one, right? So on mobile, if you see, not a good one. RPP infra projects, if you see, this is again a good one. VCP kind of characteristics above the 10-day moving average, 21-day moving average, and satisfying all the criterias that I need. So again, this is something that I would consider. And what you can do is simply you can add them to a particular watch list that you have. Let's say I have a watch list, actionable watch list. So here I would try to keep only 25-30 names in this particular watch list, right? So let's go to the next step. Once you have done that, let's go to the next step. Let's say you have these names, you have selected 25-30 names. So like currently I have 26 names. So what you can do after that is you have to look for just 4-5 names that would be your high priority names, right? So again, that will again depend on your own personal criteria, right? So let's say this is a dollar algo. This one was looking good because again, a big base breakout. There was a bullish movement here, and on the bad day as well, it recovered very well, right? So this is something that I would like to go in my high priority watch list. That would be the final watch list, the top priority setups, right? So that would be the final watch list where I'll just keep the names which are totally buyable, right? So Senko, if you see, so again, it's moving in a upwards channel. It's a clear cup and a handle, and there's inside bar as well, and plus the jewelry sector also looking very good as compared to the other sectors currently. So again, this will simply go to my top priority watch list, right? And so again, I'm able to do this very quickly because I have been looking at these charts. Stylum, if you see, again, very bullish movement here. VCP kind of characteristics coming out of a range above 10-day moving average, 21-day moving average, and I'll just like to add it in my top priority watch list, right? So why I skipped others, because again, this one is also good. I would like to add this one. If you see, I had this one because again, you can see two buy prices, right? But again, not a good closing here, so currently not considering this. Again, here also not a proper buy point available here for me because I need a small consolidation for entry. India Glycol, it gave a breakout but currently coming down, so this is a candidate for removing from the watch list. This one, if you see, actually looks good, consolidating in a narrow range above 50-day moving average, but I would consider it above if it crosses this particular level, right? So once you have the names in your top priority watch list, right? Let's say you have 3 names in your top priority watch list. So rest, it will depend on how many names you can add in your PF. Let's say you have a room for only one stock that you want to add, right? And you have 3 top priority setups. What you will do here, you'll simply identify the area you would like to buy. You'll add the alerts or the buy order for all 3 of them. Whichever triggers first is going to be your new entry in the PF. Or if you have time, you can simply manually check them when they are giving a move, that it is the time to add this name in the in the PF or not. Or the best way is you can simply add the alerts or the direct buy order for all 3 of them, and you just simply wait and see which ones trigger first, right? So that is it for today's video, and I hope you guys enjoyed, you guys learned something new. And don't forget to like, subscribe and share. See you in the next one. Goodbye, take care.